It's the summer of 1724, Empire Total War, United Provinces. This is video 102. We're over in the Americas at the moment. That's the Caribbean Sea. Well, I was just checking where my ships were and where the enemy ships were. It was the tail end of the previous video, I'm afraid. Okay, quick look over in Europe. This is where the Wurttemburgers keep attacking us, as you all know, quite rightly. What we're thinking about here, as usual, is replenishing the troops, because every time they attack we lose some men. We need to be pretty strong up there because we're running on quite low numbers of troops. If you remember on the previous video, I was thinking about where to send these, whether to send them back to Paris or send them elsewhere. I'm still not too sure whether we need the help and support in the north of Europe, where there are more enemies than there are in the south. If you look in the south of Europe, beyond Spain, Portugal area, there aren't that many troops. We'll have a look down there in a moment, but so it's a bit of a dodgy thing, you know, which way that I go at the moment. Just drip feeding some troops again out of Amsterdam, as I usually do. So they go from Amsterdam to Flanders, and then from Flanders up to Alsace-Lorraine. Usually they can't quite reach Alsace-Lorraine because they haven't quite got the length to get there, but so far I've managed to organise it so that the reinforcements that are due arrive at the same time as the battle that occurs. From the previous attempt, of course, he's left Wurttemberg completely undefended, and he's in the towns beyond. If I were to attack Wurttemberg, of course, he would come to its defence from that distance away, with albeit ragged troops. But remember, I've only got a few troops in Alsace-Lorraine anyway, so I haven't really got enough to be attacking anywhere. I still haven't built up any artillery yet in any of my forces. I was trying to consolidate 3 separate theatres of war. He says, grumbling again, as he's previously done. But anyhow, I haven't really got the resources yet to attack somewhere like Wurttemberg. Not only that, you have to think about the repercussions, because if Wurttemberg falls, then Bavaria comes in and attacks you. So, checking where we are with the technology tree. Still waiting for cadence marching. The reason why I'm checking that is that I can go all the way from Flanders to Alsace-Lorraine, probably when I get cadence marching. It gives me that little bit of extra length, that bit of extra reach. Checking which of the ministers that we can change. Look again, I'm just looking down to see zeros when I hover over, see if I can improve it with something better. Unfortunately, the firing by rank, it makes my troops 3 times more effective in battles, you know, when they're sort of face to face with the enemy rather than firing over walls. When they fire over the walls, they're still single rank anyway, but otherwise they fire 3 ranks now. That means that they're more expensive to keep, so there's been an increase in the cost of my military units, which is going to reduce my income, of course, my overall income. Quick check down at Madrid. Again, it's one of those places where I don't know what to do with it. I don't know really whether to withdraw, say, half the troops out of it, let it rebel, and then use the other half, they're the ones that remain behind in Madrid, to suppress the rebellion, or do I stay in there for longer and settle it, and then launch my attacks on Portugal and wherever else I might go for. It's a bit difficult to know. What I'm going to do is just step them out. I've mentioned this before, it's a technique, you know, to find out if a town or city will be okay without. That tells you we will be on minuses if I step them out. Of course I could reduce the taxes and see what that does, but I think I better just put those back in there for now, while we build the churches and things. It doesn't look like there are too many threats around to the south anyway. The British are going down there. I'm just hoping that they're going to head for that fleet, that Spanish fleet that's blocking the trade route at the moment. That's one of the things that's not that one. There's another one off to the west. There it is. You can just see it on the top left there now. That one there. That fleet down the top left is blocking my major trade route. I get something like nearly 3,000 of income from there. Now they don't take all of it away, they take a portion of it away depending on the number of ships they've got sitting there. I think it also depends on the amount of time they're on there as well, but anyhow, we're losing money to that fleet being on there. And of course it's also a trade route for Britain, so that's why I'm rather hoping they'll step in and sort the Spanish out. They have got some pretty substantial ships at the moment as well, the Spanish, and I'm rather hoping that they've bet on getting Guatemala from me and perhaps Mexico, and certainly holding Madrid, and therefore their income is based on holding those areas, which means that they've got a navy that's rather larger than they can sustain. Well, that's what I'm hoping for anyway. We are playing this on hard, remember, so anything can happen. It's not an easy way to fight this. We are in the summer of 1724. We're now going to be approaching the winter of 1724. We're not a quarter of a way through the campaign yet. We are on the long campaign. It's the 100 years, so we will be doing the whole 100 years. I think it actually goes to 1799. I don't think it ever actually touches 1800. So here we go through the principal nations. This is Spain. One or two small armies you can see, just ones and twos. The reason why we can see those, I've said this before, we've got a trade route that goes all the way around the bottom of Spain there, and anything near to a trade route that you have, you can also see. So we're only seeing the shoreline. There could be more troops inland, of course. I doubt it though somehow. Right, this is a Spanish so-called gentleman, presumably heading for a university that used to be there that I've now destroyed, because it improves the happiness of the people, or rather it reduces the restlessness of the people in the Spanish area. This is Wurttemberg. Here they go again, gathering the troops together and attacking me. You've seen these battles so many times before. There must have been 6 battles now like this, similar size, similar numbers of troops. I'm just going to show you the firing there. There's the first rank. Here comes the second rank. There you go. I'm not doing this, by the way. They do it automatically. There's the second rank firing. Can you see his troops there charging in against that line off to the right of my infantry? They're on melee defence, so he's attacking down the stairs of the fort against those troops, and we're firing in from the side. So you can see the effect of the firing by rank there, which is rather nice. A little bit of close-up just at the end of the battle here. Instead of the build-up of the cavalry having to come out and sort out his artillery, we're just going cutting straight to the chase, I suppose is the way to describe it. Anyways, limbers always get away. For some reason you can't seem to kill limbers. They don't come back as limbers, by the way, so you needn't worry about that. Now we've defeated him, my cavalry just sort of stand around or go backwards or whatever, so I'm charging them in again, just because we want to make sure that all of the cannoneers are dead. Those cannoneers could return, and they'll have guns as well in the next battle if they do return. So we don't want that. This is the first time Wurttemberg have had artillery, by the way. Previous games they haven't had artillery, and we've just fought them off on the walls. But this time I've stood off from the walls, done my usual thing, used the buildings as support to the flanks, lined up my men between the buildings. As you could see, he attacked them. I had some men off to the side there, and we fired at him, all 3 ranks, so you can see a pretty big difference in casualties there. So he's going to retreat again, and yet again we're not going to be able to follow him up, because I like to have that area, I like to have a weak force on that side there, which is Wurttemberg, that prevents others like Bavaria coming through. Okay, and there we go. Military technology gained. So we now have the cadence marching, which means that we should be able to march all the way from, is it Flanders? Sorry, yes, it's Flanders, up to Alsace-Lorraine. Let's have a quick check of this Maratha fleet. They're not very good quality, but they produce a heck of a lot of ships. I've only got 1 in there, if you remember. I moved my others out of the area. All those VOCs and sepoys, they're all now going to be able to fire by rank. Pretty darn useful. No, I don't want that. Let's go for one of the, we'll go for the C1. That's the one that reduces the cost of our ships. So maybe that will reduce, because our army has gone up in cost, maybe we need to reduce our navy in cost a little. That might help. Okay, so we're now in the winter, 1724. Just a bit of tidying up again, seeing if Madrid can stand us not being there for a while.